Damn. No.
Hello, welcome everyone. It's your boy Mide as always. Welcome to the Football Amigo shows. We are excited to have you back, amigos. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to our Game 16 predictions for this week in the Premier League. As always, we have our home amigos here. Amigo Sam, how are you doing?
Very well, sir. I'm happy to
That's
be here.
awesome. That's awesome. And then of course we have our amigo Ayo looking all bright and looking like he's might be changing allegiance, but I don't think so. I think it's just his fashion trend for this week. Amigo Ayo, hope you're not joining Man City anytime soon. Just to confirm from our amigos, right?
Over my cold dead body.
That's
For
a
what
fair
is what, there's been a lot of Man City migration to Arsenal, including my coach. So it's okay to migrate back.
that is true. They've Ateta moved from Man City to Arsenal. Jesus moved from Man City to Arsenal. Yeah, I can see that trend. Some good insight there. Amigos, of course, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts about the Game 16 games of this weekend. We will start off against Arsenal versus Everton. It's going to be a Saturday game at 9 a.m. Aya, we'll start with you. Everton is a team that they have not had a good season, but there are certain games that they tend to play well. Arsenal is playing at home. I would assume it's another win. What are your thoughts on this game?
This game has draw written all over it. Like just painted draw, draw, draw.
Why? Is it because Everton is defending well, or Arsenal is not still firing in terms of finishing their chances?
Yeah. So a big part of what we do is wing play, and we have not been able to keep our fullbacks. What's it called? Fit. And so blow for blow, a full Arsenal team, I'd say, will beat almost any team, and get almost guaranteed if you're not like top level. However, we're struggling for fitness on the wing backs. I think Timbers are only fit fullback. We have a midweek game before we play them. They don't have any games. They didn't even play Liverpool. They're gonna train. All they're gonna train for is play Arsenal, and they're gonna have a good amount of time to prepare physically and tactically for that game. So I see it being a frustrating game of them being very defensive, disciplined, and I'm not sure we'll break that down. Yeah, we will control the possession. I know that, but I'm not confident that we'll break them down.
Sam, do you think Everton can nick a
Zero
win?
zero. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, nil-nil. Okay, good prediction, Ayo. But Sam, do you think Everton can nick a goal at all?
I
No.
think it's probably going to be a 3-1 or
To
three
Arsenal?
zero. Arsenal is going to whoop their butts. All the rest that you think they got is probably they're probably drinking beer right now.
Do I sense a hint of bias?
Hey, both, man. I don't wish them well, but no, of course I don't wish Arsenal well. Let's see, though. I think Arsenal is gonna come on back from the Fulham game and just put a little more, um, put the foot on the gas. And I think Everton is gonna be a victim of that madness. Of course, I want Arsenal to drop points. I want Everton to be beaten, but either way. I think Arsenal is going to come out strong. It's going to be at their pitch. I don't see them no winning that game.
Yeah, I think Arsenal will win that game 2-0 as well. I think the quality will show once again from an Arsenal standpoint. And I think, Ayo, to your point, I don't even think they would even need to rely on their wing backs. I think the team is strong enough for them to get goals. But Ayo, I can see why you would say nil-nil because Everton tends to be a very annoying team when you need to win, and then they just have a worldie sometimes. Speaking about worldies, Liverpool is playing Fulham on Saturday as well at 9 a.m. Also, Sam, Fulham is tricky. We are playing
Absolutely.
a
Very,
place.
very.
You're playing at Anfield. Fulham is very tricky, and they have had a very good performance against the top six teams. Of course, it's definitely the top four. How do you see that game going? And what are your predictions?
We got our Champions League before that. and I think I'll see some of our players get arrested, some of our key players. But regardless, it's a game that we want to bring forth our full energy, get back from the last 1-1 draw. And I also credit to Fulham. They are, you know, they're not well disciplined defensively, but they're strong. The players don't move a lot. The defenders don't move a lot. So I can see Salah having a very low rough game, but it probably 1-0 for me, maybe 2-0.
Speaking about Salah, it looks like Liverpool's leadership board have definitely put down a first offer to extend his contract. There's speculation that he's reviewing it and there isn't any updates on that yet. Do you think he's going to stay? Do you think he deserves it? Do you think it's going to have an impact based on that decision?
I think he's well deserved. I think. Do I think he's gonna stay? I don't know. For me, I think his high is on the bag somewhere. I think he's done it. In as much that people think he wants the record and all of those things. After this season, I think he's probably gonna find his way out. Except you give him more money. He's the highest paid right now in our team, and if he's asking for more money, then that's not good. But if he's asking for 2 years, which is what we've given, I think 2 years is enough for both parties. For me, given his age and all of those things. So I don't know if he's going to stay. I don't know if he's going to stay. I think he's going to go somewhere with bigger bag and maybe a new challenge for him.
Controversial question before we move on to Sunday. Ayo and Sam, I'd love to hear from both of you. Who right now can even try to replace Salah at Liverpool? I'll give you about 3 seconds to come up with a name and why. Who do you think
Seventy
right now?
percent, over
Yeah.
70% of Liverpool's goals and assists come from Mo Salah. Mm.
Hmm.
Nobody. I don't. I'm not even sure there's anybody in the world that would replicate that. That's a two player.
Anyone close?
No,
Okay.
no.
So yeah, it's a
Mm-mm.
very good question, and nobody can ever replace anybody 100%. And for sure, Salah is just it's hard to replace. I honestly haven't. I would think of somebody, and then I would blah. This person has this weakness. This person has that. I was hearing somewhere that Christian Pulisic is probably gonna be considered. I don't think he will give us 50% of what Salah does. And for me, in the Premier League, they're saying Jared Bowen. I'm like, nah, come on.
Mm,
I would even take. It's crazy. I'll take this Tottenham's young guy, Brendan Johnson.
Johnson. I
I'll
can
take
see that.
him.
Mhm.
I can see that too.
But it won't give you a lot of goals, but it will give you some output from that angle. It's very selfless player. So what that means is if you have a player like that, you need to have a strong number nine. You can't rely on Nunes anymore. Then you just don't have anything. So you have to be able to convert. So to answer your question, I don't know if there's anybody, but we can also bring somebody that will give us almost the same output in a different dimension that will require a team change. So it's hard to point out a name at this point for me.
Ayo, anything to add before I give you mine?
If there's a player that I thought could even challenge, I don't know Chiesa. His injuries have absolutely torpedoed his trajectory, but he was a dynamite player. He was a very reliable player, and he was a big game player. I don't know what his recovery process is. Maybe, but I don't even think even he can do it. I don't. What he's doing, what Mo Salah has been doing for the last 4, 5, 6 years is, especially the last two, is astronomical. There's no, yeah, it's gonna be a big loss when it happens. I don't think they want it to happen next season, but at least the season after that to give him time. But it's gonna be a big loss when it happens. That's a Liverpool grave. That's statue caliber of
Hmm.
play. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
I have two names, and these names, I'm not saying they can come in and replace him right now. They can still be some developments with them over time, and if they're put in the right environment, they have the potential or the little glimmer. Remember when we play FIFA and they show that icon when they say something special about that player? There's an icon there. I can see with these two players, Omar Mamouche from Frankfurt in Germany,
Another player you're talking about, yeah.
the Moroccan. Watch this space. He is becoming very consistent with not just creating chances but scoring goals. And I think that's Mo Salah's thing. Not only can he score goals, he's very consistent at creating chances for others to score as well. So if those two things are consistent in a player, then you can start to see those end products coming in. The other player that I'm thinking is the one you've mentioned before. Atlanta has a Gasparini, that's the coach. Atlanta FC in Atlantic Atalanta FC in Italy. He has a way of developing players, and I think Ademola Lookman maybe. I know they don't necessarily play the same size of the field, but
Oh,
go ahead.
yes, yes, he can. But I put him on the left, but I want him so badly for us. People are like telling me like who else do you want? Like all these like I just want Lukman. That's all I desire. Yeah, sorry.
Those are the two
Mhm.
players that I can see that can possibly fit that Mo Salah mold, but like you all both mentioned, Mo Salah is irreplaceable. They're just some players that are at that level very irreplaceable in terms of their performance, their outputs, their clinical prowess, their consistency. For you to be world class, amigos, you have to have quality and you have to show that quality consistently. That's what separates you from being good to being world class. That's the difference. You can look at the players in history. Some are very good, they are not world class. Some are very good and they are very world class because they are very consistent. In terms
He's
of
also
consistency,
one of the strongest match winners I've ever seen.
he has the ability to
Uh,
change the entire
yeah,
game.
he's a closer like nobody else. Yeah, carry on. Sorry, it's a fantastic
No,
best right
no,
wing
you
in Premier League history. Personally, I don't see anybody coming close. Personally, yeah.
absolutely
Mm,
okay.
mhm,
Okay. I beg to
mhm.
differ, but okay. Moving
I know
on.
you will. Yeah,
Of course, I would differ, but I see why you would say so. Moving on to Sunday, Manchester Derby. All bets are off. I'm gonna just put it out there. All bets are off with this one. Forget latest form. Forget where United is versus where Man City are. This is one of those games where, because of some of the things that have happened and what we know historically, it's going to be one of those where either quality shows or mistakes happen,
yeah.
and whoever can take the initiative to embrace that mistake and use it to their advantage wins the game, right? We've seen in the past that Amron has the ability to beat Pep, but you can't compare both teams.
Is
One,
that not just one time?
well, several times actually, but one was at its peak after being with them for 3 years. One, he's only been with them for what, 4 months? You can't really compare that quality or that style of play or the execution of that style of play consistently. But at the same time, from what I've seen with this United team, even though their results haven't been good, the ability to quickly adapt to this system and execute has been impressive. Man City, on the other hand, they are going through a transition and there's a lot of confusion going on with who starts his game, especially in defense. He keeps dropping Guardiola. He's dropped Edison. He's dropped Kyle Walker. Ayo, I would love to hear your perspective from a Man City perspective, and then Sam, I'd love to hear yours from a United perspective before we wrap up. Ayo, Man City against United. Do you think it's a game of tactical nouns or a game where quality just dominates?
I think it's still in the no mistakes. But basically, I think Man City is still vulnerable to to transitions. And one of the uh, very consistent thing I know about Man United is they're actually very good in transitions. They're not the world beaters as Ten Hag would have wanted them to, or their strength in transition did not cover all their many flaws, but they are excellent at transition. Amorim actually had to adapt his style of play to be more transitional heavy. He actually told that in his interviews because of just how direct, what's it called, the DNA of Man United wants to be. I think that directness is still Man City's kryptonite, right? And so if they still build out solidly, they stretch the game solidly. Like I can. Who's at home?
Man City,
Okay,
Sunday at 10:30 a.m.
yeah, I see a loss for Man United. I'm sorry. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm.
I'm not surprised. I
Yeah.
just have
If,
to
if,
see.
if it was at Old Trafford, I'd be more confident to say it, but I think it lost no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you not see what just happened at Old Trafford the other day? Their last game.
that's why
Don't
I
No,
said
no,
even.
no, no.
that's why I
No,
said
like,
mistakes.
see, there are historical rivalries that Man United raises their baseline for. They raise their baseline always for Arsenal, and I think they raise their baseline for Man City. However, Man City can just show that they're just better overall. They manage games so well. However, Man City are vulnerable to transitions. Man United are still very good at transitions. The only thing is that the going to Man City's place, I just see Man United making mistakes that just derail what they're trying to do. That's my only issue here. Mhm.
Final score.
3-2. Man
Oh,
City. Yeah.
oh,
Hmm.
interesting. Sam, your thoughts from a United standpoint. Do you think he's going to rotate again? Do you see mistakes happening as well?
I honestly see a draw in this game, and I see 0-0.
Zero.
To be honest, yes,
Wow.
yeah. So
Okay. Tell
people,
us more.
yes, yes. I struggle with it, and I was listening to Ayo. And I mean, I was listening, leaning towards a City win. Then I'm also looking at Pep's reaction. Pep is tired of all these changes. He is changing week in, week out. I feel like he will want to come out stronger from the attacking point of view, and he doesn't have a lot of option. And the defense we know is just in shambles right now. Man United on the other side, they seem like they have a plan. I think they have a plan in most cases, and they run everywhere. But I don't know if Rashford is going to play that game. I don't know if they're going to score. I
I
know.
think I think they will play him in that game.
Yeah. So I'm leaning. I can see him playing Rashford on that big game, and I just don't see him producing anything honestly in terms of goals.
From what
Uh,
I've seen, to your point, Sam, from what I've seen, I think he's gonna drop Garnacho. He's gonna move Rashford to the left and try to recreate what Rashford did when Ten Hag was here and he scored that worldie. I think he's going to do. I honestly think he's going to start Hoyland up top, Rashford on the left, Ahmad on the right. I think he's going to do that, or he moves Bruno to the right, Ahmad wing back. But go ahead, Sam.
no, if Ahmad plays that game and the way we even have it set up now, I'm actually seeing a possible loss for City. Maybe a more like a very tiny margin, 1-0. Now here's the thing: if
I
Man
would
United,
I would jubilate if that happens.
yeah, we don't have crystal ball here, amigos, but we just these things are going based on games, honestly, for me, and also honestly based on my emotions right now. The Man United and Man City game used to be a game that you cannot predict because it's going to be firecracker. But when you look at these two teams, we don't even know what they represent right now. We don't. They both have issues, of course, but we don't know what the possible outcome is going to look like. But I feel like Man United playing stronger in the defense, not making silly mistakes like they've made in the last game, especially. And they play Ahmad, and he's on fire like he's been. And Rashford, maybe he will get a tap in. I can see a 1-0 goal, 1-0 win over Man City.
Well, from my perspective, I think Man City will win 2-1. I think they'll win 2-1, and I think for us it will be mistakes, and it would be mistakes because we are still learning a new system, and certain players are not of the quality we need them to be, even though their wages are pointing to that direction. Their performance isn't the same. I wonder with the eviction of and Dan Ashford and who they bring in, or if they sign someone within Vival, that's who I've been hearing rumors about, or they bring someone different from outside. It'll be interesting to see if they make any changes during the winter, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the summer with that team. I'm still going to hold out the fact that if this team goes through a preseason with Amorim, I would be very interested in seeing how they perform, especially next season. But next season is still far away. We are amigos. We only promised today. We have to start getting results today. We cannot be a united team with the amount of money that we have and caliber that we have. Well, I say money in terms of not money like we have so much money to buy whoever we want. Money in how much we pay players that are not performing and be 13th on the table. Premier League isn't easy anymore. You can't just beat easy teams as you want to. I can see this game ending 2-1, and United will have to weather this storm after Man City to probably start playing well. Ayo, your final thoughts?
I think we'll be surprised by how well my United play.
Hmm. Okay.
I think outside of errors, they will be the better team. I think they
Okay.
have a much more
I
stable
agree.
defense. I think they support the midfielders support at least the first half. They support their defenders a little bit well. I really like Mazuari and Lenioro at either side of the league is very very strong. Like what's it called? You put Malasia, Dallo to start, or if you can risk it, you take out Dallo and what's it called, and put in Dallo. I was like counter attacking. I really can see that. What I just don't know is at City's place if United will not make mistakes. That would make them concede. That's the problem that I can't. Otherwise, like I think they're better.
Mm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Amigos, we think you're better, and we always will think you're better. Thank you so much for your time today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let us know your predictions down below in the comment section. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We will see you all soon in the next content. As always, stay positive, amigos.
Adios, amigos.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for staying here. Take care.